iOS device is a proud supporter of the It Can Wait campaign. Texting and driving. It can wait.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Paul here with Paul's iOS device, showing you how to replace your glass digitizer on an iPhone 3GS. I know a lot of you don't have 3GSs anymore because they're fairly old, but this is a demonstration on how to repair it. So first thing you need to do is turn it off. Now you need to be careful with your broken glass so you don't cut yourself. Now that the phone is off, you'll need to take a small paper clip or your SIM ejector tool and eject your SIM card. The little hole is right next to your 3.5mm headphone jack at the top of your phone. If you can see that here. Let's focus in. So go ahead and pop out your SIM card. Slide that out and set that off to the side. You won't need that until the final step. Now that that's ejected, we're going to take a small Phillips screwdriver, preferably one that is magnetic, because these screws on this device, they are very small. So at the bottom of your screen, the bottom of the phone that is, you will have two Phillips screws holding the screen assembly in place. So once you get these out, make sure you set them off to the side. These are the longest and the biggest screws that you will be taking out of this phone, so you won't have any issue determining where these screws go. But whenever we get to the inside, you'll need to probably put these smaller screws into a place that you know where they go whenever you put this phone back together. Now that those are done, you'll take a suction cup that will most likely come with your new screen digitizer. So you will need to attach it to the lower part of your screen right above your home button and gently pry, just pull the bottom part of your phone up. Don't pull the whole screen out right away. Just pull the bottom part, because at the top of your screen you have 3 connectors that are attached to your motherboard, and we don't want to tear those off. So gently pry the bottom part up, and then you'll see right here at the top you will have 3 different connectors that are easy to pry off the motherboard, and we'll get to that later. So as you can see here, you've got 1, 2, and under the number 2 is a third connector. So we're going to take these off numerically. So first we're going to go with number 1. Gently pry that off with a plastic tool, preferably. You don't want to put metal near any of these connectors. Pry number 2 off. And as you can see right down here, number 3, you have a little white lever that you need to pry up right there. Just pry that up. And now you can just slide number 3 out from the connector, and now your screen assembly is completely detached from your motherboard. Now that we've got that all settled, we're going to focus on the screen assembly. First thing you need to do is locate all these screws. You've got 1 at the top. You've got 2 on one side. And then you've got 3 more screws on the other side. 1 at the top, 1 in the middle, and 1 at the bottom. Now it does help to have a magnetic screwdriver. I'm going to speed this up for your convenience. Now set these off to the side to where you know where they go whenever you put this back together. I sped this up again. And once you get these screws out, it's pretty much smooth sailing from here. A few more screws to go. Again, be patient because these screws are really small And if you don't have a magnetic screwdriver, things could get really difficult and you do not want to lose any of these screws. Now with all the screws out, you will need to take your plastic pry tool and pry between the LCD screen and the frame of your digitizer. So gently find an area where you can get between the LCD and the frame. And let's find a spot here. There's a good spot. And gently pull in and pry up. Again, you do not want to damage your LCD screen. So take your time. Once you get one side up, focus on the other side. Let me try to get this in the camera view. Here we go. Both sides are up. Now gently from the bottom, probably on one of the side tabs here, and pull up. And you'll need to slide it out because at the top, right up in the upper right hand corner, it needs to slide out of some of these little connections. So let's pull that out and set this off to the side, someplace where it won't get smudged or damaged at all, because you'll be needing that. And here is the digitizer with the frame, and this is going to be completely replaced by a brand new one. Now here's the new digitizer with frame, and we're going to go ahead and pry off this little protection, the screen protector. Gently pry it up, and don't touch the inside of the digitizer. You don't want to smudge that up because you cannot wipe those fingerprints off. Now let's take your LCD screen. Make sure it's clean. Turn it around. And we're going to slide it back in underneath these connectors here. Right there. And now gently press down on the sides, not in the middle of your LCD screen, but on the sides, to pop them in to the frame. Now that that's all taken care of, make sure it's lined up. And now we're going to go ahead and add these screws. Now this is where the magnetic screwdriver comes into play. And you're going to quickly attach the screws. As you can see here, having a little trouble. Now we've got 3 more screws to go, 2 more on the side, and then don't forget the one at the top. Two more to go. Again, I sped this up for your convenience. And 1 more to go. And fit that right in there. Now that that's all put together, we can easily put the screen assembly and attach it right back onto the motherboard. And we're going to go ahead and go 3, 2, 1 here instead of 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go ahead and slide. This one's the hardest. Slide 3 back into its spot and then lock it down with that white locking mechanism. As you can see here, we're going to go ahead and try to focus this in on the camera. And if you have to, just move some of the other connectors out of the way. Okay, once that's snug, you gotta make sure it's all the way in. And you can press it down with a plastic tool or your finger. Now we're going to press number 2 in and make sure it clicks in. You get a good, nice, firm 2 clicks. And then number 3, you're going to have to possibly drop your screen down a tad to put that in. Now, another very important key point here, at the top of your screen assembly, you'll see these little notches, or these little tongues. You're going to need to slide those in to the top, just like this. And now gently drop the bottom part of your screen assembly back down. And again, be gentle. Take your time. And now that that's all firmly into place, you're going to go ahead and turn your device on to make sure the screen is working properly. Because you don't want to add your screws and then turn your device on and it not work, and then go ahead and have to take the screws back out and fix your problem. So that is the screen repair of the iPhone 3GS. Last but not least, just put your last 2 screws in and then put your SIM card back into the top. Again, that is the repair of your 3GS. If you enjoyed this video, if this helped you out, if you still have a 3GS, good for you. If you would, go ahead and pound that like button down below and slam that subscribe button above. That way you'll see new videos like this and many more in your subscription box. Thanks for watching. This is Paul. God bless.